morning Ghana for me didn't far and you tie me nka Japan radio and an opportunity Mass TV ya boom mpuni mpupa ko Parliament House so swa stories now ebre mo show so pa any saying Ghana for emra so say beto aba enso ansa na bato ne baba no enyina yenim say last week no one or two things cause so our Parliament House so ye need to say MPs no majority na baba ye minority ama minority no so baba ye den majority na eno na ene 22nd of October yes omo new sitting no and a session for our Parliament House so and so say what the when you watch video na that machine so a we bon say military for no and omo babegu kama pa and the presence of the military with their dogs omo ma okeke omo de omo krama nyina ye den eba honom na Ghana for bisa say na military anka yenim say anka police for na anka yesa omo ye den omo ba ho na military na aba ono bambo ben ko an ye pe a ye de military no aba na yenko kwahwe videos ni bi ne ye ba mato adwumedie no so
the two military vehicles here within the precincts of the house, all of them checking to ensure that things are in a good shape, and it's really setting up to be a very situation.
And ye mpanimfo ni bia o ma ba pie mu ha say ni chief majority chief and MP for Nsawam Adwojiri and ye nyina ye ye papa Frank ano dompre ane anopoe wa ba be pie mu Parliament House ha na obe pie mu wa ha say no na sema osisukina ene say Speaker of Parliament should be blamed for anything that happens and America say adenti na yesa papa ikasa anopetutu we ensan say ye nyina ya ba na yenim ne esi last week no na sem do so osaka to aso ne say ono de bia ne de bia osi adwuma mu ntem na otie adwuma na se na majority leader foforo no onti adwuma na se enti no ne ebobo ba no enye na aban ene ne mpanimfo anyone a wetwa hia wo honom no onhwe bibi na mo kan fa
know how I work, how you operate in Parliament. You have been reporting from Parliament for a very long time. So if for anybody to say that I connived, it's a wild thing that anybody can imagine or even put out. I don't want to glorify that kind of allegation. I came here as part of my duties. It's not only these days that, or today that I come to work early. Every time I come to work early. And when I came, I didn't enter by my will. I sought permission from the security. I asked them, is the place accessible? Can I enter? And they answered in the affirmative. So I went in there together with my colleague. We went there just to be sure. It's my duty as a whip to be sure that things are okay. So I got there and what I wanted, I found it. And so I sat down. Then they called me and said that they wanted to sweep the place. Willingly, I walked out and came and stood here. What is wrong with that? He should have known. He came to meet me. I was a whip before he became a whip. There are lessons I need to teach him. So he should be humble enough to learn. He just entered a whip job. He should be careful making allegations and be humble enough to also learn how whips work. This is how whips operate. It's my duty to be sure that everything is well. Before I inform the entire leadership and the majority leader. So there's no problem.
I mean,
the tomb. You know his house? I can direct you to the Speaker's house or his official residence. The Speaker set the stage. If there is any, should there be any chaos, we should blame it on the head of the Speaker of Parliament. Because after Supreme Court ruling, we know they'll be having meetings with the minority. The Speaker has been having meetings. That is what is emboldening them to come out and say all the things they are saying. And the knee-jerk reaction, the press conference they held on Sunday, it was all knee-jerk reaction after the Supreme Court has put where the situation should be. But surprisingly, I'm surprised. The Ghanaian people should know who the minority are. They're just giving forth their true colors. It is the same courts that ruled in favor of John Mahama some time back. And they were in white and celebrating. The same court, not necessarily Supreme Court, but the judiciary, They ruled in favor of Atuforsen. They were in white jubilating. What is happening today? Are we saying that we can disrespect the ruling of a Supreme Court? Well, we wait and see. The Speaker himself is a respected lawyer and a very experienced legislator. We wait and see what he will do today.
Na anope die agrona ye de Parliament House and say we see Parliament House dia the right side of the speaker no and NDC for ni MPP for say ene de hwa na nyina ye betena and say MPP for ntia say over 10 no at take place enti no ye betu eni ahwe Parliament House na we hun say and Ghana Parliament House yetna si make a decision no the right side of the speaker no both parties are seated there respectively. Na ebi say ehun say enkonya na aka no wan ene bet now. Yen twa yen ni embra.
And then you cried and a woman. Someone who kept out for
Yo, any the NDC for I prepared. And me to me come twetwe so and won say NDC for ahye. In fact, omuntu mamu kinapane because yakosha Dr. Atuforsen ne oye new majority leader ene Emmanuel Ama Kofi ene Mahama friend say Ayariga ane omunyina sampenifoi as see no ye ka say the leadership of the majority ane omudi mu chiame kama pa omunyina mo take step ano potutu 2 year edu Parliament House na ne akoso ho ne say udru Parliament House wa eye say ye check wiye pa ye inspect wiye pa na eno so twam a afei de ya makwan say MPs no omu chamber no ye bie mu amomo ye bie so ye bie ho amomo say omu wo kwan say ombe den ombe rere omu chamber sisi ya me ne wo kasenti no Parliament House ho de sisi ya de Ghana atom paibo ato abotre na Peace Council for so no embrem na sisi ya no ne ebobo no ye twen ahwe se ne Supreme Court so any Speaker of Parliament edi asem no kama ye ntwa yani ye besamba.
I want to get the leadership then. Focus.
Yo, yes, and ye call for more Parliament House wa. Omo pass information in the brain no anope de so we Ghana ba we adehia wo kromu abeto aba de ene esisi e se we ni da ho na press release bi so e free Parliament House so e tre se enkofo bi circulate videos bi e wa around and na video no emunsem address so enti no hwe press release ya e wo ye TV so a wo bon se wo ready mu ko do musukoli ya asama etoto papa so ema mewo midi hu chiame a me ne wo kasa ene se ye president no ye mampani no his excellency Akufo-Addo video bi circulate say wa first speaker of parliament one ne dem twetwe nkomo kasa afa ne yekoso no nanso medofo a wutie me you don't judge a book by its cover and in your make out one opinion say that video na circulate no is a long time video and this year 4th July 2024 video and circulate our bonten a hu nti no kre bia ni asem nim no kre ba ko ketekete kra eni asem na ye bebo no tofa ama appear and a reporter our bonten so so ababeto so at the Vox Pop interview ye gimadwenche abrain awa homa trofo iso enti me amedi news everyone no pay me din edichifa Jerina and nso so Japoma radio and Mass TV so and na wo hwen se opese oni ye bedi dwa se bibie si wo potemu a opese ye betwa ne de oni problem fra ahomatro free ne ye beba waso eye 050 4712 650 na ye di dwuma hu chia me abre ni abre bia ne yakoso wo Parliament House so ye de bebre mu kama medase.
He's a small boy. If he be the deputy minister, he's a small boy. He's a president. He should keep quiet. Otherwise, someone will handle me. And I will portray.
We are even like to say that we allow you to scan us. Because we don't know what they entered and planted there.
Whatever will happen, will happen. It's rated.
Thank you very much for being present with us this morning. As you may be well aware, there was a decision by Mr. Speaker expressing his opinion on Article 97 of the 1992 Constitution. That opinion led to a declaration by him that those members have vacated their seats. Proud to his decision, I had brought to his attention that there was a pending suit at the Supreme Court, which pending suit was to seek certain interpretation of Article 97. In fact, Mr. Speaker himself acknowledged that on the floor of the House. As a result of his decision, the majority caucus expressed its disagreement with his decision and gave a clear indication that the matter will be pursued further at the Supreme Court. So on Friday, another process was filed by me, and the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, determined the matter and ruled, among others, that one, Speaker's interpretation of the law was wrongful, and that the Supreme Court was staying his decision pending the final determination of the case. In other words, his earlier decision to the effect that those 4 MPs, that is MP for Fomina, MP for Aguna West, MP for Suhum, and Amenfi Central had vacated their seats, was nullified, in essence. We are law-abiding. We have heard that our colleagues say they disagree with the Supreme Court. They've been using unprintable words on the Supreme Court. On Sunday, the minority leader, my respected colleague, Dr. Forson, led the minority caucus in a press conference whereupon they told Ghanaians that today they will come and occupy our seats by their own proclamation. MPP, our tradition, is a law-abiding tradition. Our forebears always use the court to correct the wrong. Since 1992, our leaders have always used civil advocacy of the legal department, received the ruling of the court. So, in other words, Mr. Speaker is on constructive notice, or maybe I should say actual notice of the ruling of the court. We have to leave it there and respect Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker has been part of our democracy since 1992. He's a senior lawyer, he's practiced in our court, and I believe that even if Mr. Speaker disagrees with the Supreme Court, he knows what to do. Suffice to state, at the risk of being repetitive, that we were not disrespectful of the chair. When the Speaker made his pronouncement and the majority caucus disagreed with Mr. Speaker, we didn't cause commotion here. We left quietly and told Mr. Speaker that the right place to express those grievances will be at the court. So we expect our brothers and our sisters on the NDC minority side to do the needful. But all would be for Mr. Speaker to make a final determination. The nation is looking up to Mr. Speaker. All his years in politics, this is a crucial moment for him to add weight to what we have done to preserve the peace. MPP is for peace. MPP is for peace. MPP is for peace of Ghana. We will not allow anybody to disturb the peace of the country. It is a notorious fact that we remain the majority caucus of this parliament. You, the media, must add your voice to the advocacy to compel our colleagues to respect the fidelity of the law. I have heard a respected colleague on their side, Honorable Dr. Ayini, calling on Mr. Speaker to respect the Supreme Court decision. If that is true, then that's a noble call from him. Dr. Ayini is somebody I respect because of his respect for the law. I believe that moderates on the side of NDC will prevail on the horse in their party to call them to order. So I would want to thank you for being with us. We are leaving this chamber peacefully into our offices. I wait Mr. Speaker's arrival, and if he calls leadership and we do pre-sitting discussions, we'll take it up from there. But for now, that lawless theater will not share with them, because Ghana, our country Ghana, is bigger than any one individual. So we would want to, at this point, sing our party's anthem to let you know who we are. Colleagues, we are the new patriotic party. We are the new patriotic party. The elephant is a winning symbol. We are one to save Ghana. The elephant is the winning symbol. We are one.
With some kind of decency, so that people, bystanders and neutral and independent-minded people will reflect on the merit of the matter and say, oh, you are wrong or you are right. But the rush and the manner in which the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice is doing things leaves much to be desired. Number one, I am told, I am not a lawyer, but I'm told Supreme Court doesn't sit on Friday. And the writ was issued or was filed on Friday. Some way, somehow, on that same Friday, a panel was constituted to sit on the matter on the same Friday. Without even looking at the merit and demerit of the matter, in my humble opinion, a ruling was given to suspend the ruling of Mr. Speaker in the chamber on matters of procedure. This is my third term in Parliament, and this is alien to our rules. You understand? So for me, humbly, we are all leaders of the country. You could be massaging the issues. If there are tensions, we must all sit together, put our heads together and think through it. So while Supreme Court is taking its time, if you think that it is very important, just take your time. You can sit on the matter the whole 24 hours. You understand? And you bring your comprehensive ruling. Then we all begin to reflect on it. But you don't sit in Supreme Court and then you suspend Mr. Speaker's ruling on the floor of the House. If you do that, you are fanning the Supreme Court that is supposed to water down the tension in the country. It's rather fanning the tension in the country. And Madam, what's the name? What's the name of the Chief Justice? Tokono. Madam Tokono, I hope and pray that she has children in this country. She has family members in this country. We must all watch it. We must all watch it and protect the peace we have in this country. And the Supreme Court must play a pivotal role in protecting the peace we have as a country. Intimidation whatsoever. And we will protect our current status as the majority, as my leader has clearly stated. Mr. Speaker, as you know him, the Abam Babin, as you know him, will never bow to any pressure or any intimidation. And I have absolute confidence that Mr. Speaker will insist on the right thing. Mr. Speaker will not behave like the Supreme Court. Mr. Speaker will do the right thing, and he has this country at heart.
So now, would you have peace to work if things remain as it is?
Would you have what?
Peace to work.
We have my peace. Why is somebody blocking my peace?
Having two sides on one side, would you have?
Well, I have a seat to sit on. I'm in Parliament. We will listen to Mr. Speaker. Where they sit is their own problem. I have a seat to sit on. But you see, all these things are avoidable. They are all avoidable. Sometimes the MPP and the government, the people in the government, the MPP think that they are more human beings than the rest of Ghanaians. Haven't we seen this type of ruling before in this country? Where were they at the time? Don't we have a precedent? Where were they at the time? Because it was good for them, they allowed that ruling to take effect. Today, because it's not good for them, look at the way they are behaving. Look at the way they are behaving. When we came to the House, we have sacrificed a lot of things as far as the NDC side is concerned. We have sacrificed a lot of things for the peace of this country. Why did we even call them majority in the first place? Were they majority? We were 137. It got to a time we had to agree that, look, don't worry, you form the government, take the majority, we don't have a problem. You cannot for once eat the humble pie. The arrogance is too much.
Honorable, would you say the new majority is doing what is happening now because they want to retaliate to what the MPP did?
No, we are doing what we are doing because what we are doing is right and not for any retaliation or for any other reason. We are all parliamentarians. And the Speaker who moderates the House, he has given a ruling. The Speaker has not come to even say otherwise. And you have come, you say yes, you will insist on sitting at where you are sitting. Does that make sense?
Don't you think they are doing that because of the court?
When we started this House, we sat at the majority side. Mr. Speaker came in, ruled that we should sit the other day. Didn't we move? So at least, if we all have conscience, for at least, even if you have a Supreme Court judgment, you go and sit at where you have to sit. Okay? Allow the Speaker to come in and communicate the ruling to us, and we take it from there. That is how any decent person would behave.
Would you accept if Speaker should come in with a Supreme Court ruling today?
That one, when we get there, we will cross it. That's a different matter altogether. But you see, sometimes they should not behave as if they own Ghana more than us, as if they are more Ghanaians more than us, as if they are more human beings than us. Okay? It is for the peace of the country, the development of the country. That's sometimes we have to sacrifice some things, some certain things. But we will not be intimidated.
But Honorable, how will Parliament become more beneficial to Ghanaians if what is happening keeps going and it's not resolved today?
What is not resolved? There's nothing to be resolved. We are members of Parliament. Speaker has given a ruling. We are waiting for Mr. Speaker to come. Anything Mr. Speaker will say, we'll have our turn to debate. So I don't see anything wrong with it. But it is the Supreme Court that has brought this tension. You understand? It is the Supreme Court that has brought it. If they are taking their time and this week they sit on the matter, they bring their ruling, they serve Mr. Speaker, and then Mr. Speaker considers it, they will communicate. I mean, they will. Now, commander.